like doing things on my own. Some people might say I'm kind of stubborn, but I like to think that I'm just independent. And so when our washing machine quit not long ago, I said we needed to find an option. And so Sarah found some that she wanted and said, maybe you ought to call Dennis to help you go pick those up. And I said, bah, I don't need no Dennis. So I took Megan's little truck and I went out to the place where we were buying them from, and I wrestled them into the truck by myself, and that wasn't a lot of fun. And got home and I wrestled the old ones out of the basement, which wasn't a lot of fun. And then to wrestle the new ones downstairs, I actually called my son-in-law Kendall, and he came over and helped. And at the end of it all, Sarah said, wouldn't it have just been easier to have Dennis come help you? And I said, well, maybe, but I didn't really want to ask, and I didn't want to inconvenience him, and I didn't want to bother him, and so I didn't. But I admitted to her that, yeah, maybe that would have been a good idea. So the next day at church, when I needed an illustration of how pride gets in the way of things, I used that as an illustration, and Dennis laughed, and it was all good. The next day, on the Monday, I go over to Home Hardware, and just as I'm parking the vehicle, my phone rings. So I pick up the phone and I talk to whoever was on the phone, and then I get out of the truck and I close the door and I lock it and slam the door and realize I left my keys in the truck. So my phone is actually in the truck, so I can't call anybody to help me, and the keys are stuck in the truck, locked in there. So I'm thinking, well, what am I going to do now? So I walk into Home Hardware thinking, well, I'll just use their phone and call CAA and somebody will come and unlock the truck for me. It'll be fine. And as I'm walking into Home Hardware, guess who I see? Dennis. Dennis comes out and says, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, oh, fine. I just locked my keys in my truck, though. And he's like, can I give you a ride home? And guess what I said? No. Oh, why would I say no? Dennis is standing right there. He's happy to drive me across town. He could have driven me over here. I could have got my spare set of keys. I could have gone back and everything would have been fine. But instead, my pride made me say, no, I got it handled. It's okay. So I go into Home Hardware and I call CAA and I stand around for about 20 minutes before they finally send somebody over to get the door unlocked, and I finally get in the truck and take off again. And again, Dennis is looking at me like I'm a crazy person. Why wouldn't I let him help me? The silly thing is that pride gets in our way a lot of times. We think we need to be independent. We think we don't want anybody else's help. We think we can do things on our own, when lots of times it would be great to have somebody help us if we would just get out of our own way. And here's the really stupid thing. I like helping other people. I don't mind helping people when they need somebody to haul something or whatever. I just don't want to ask someone else. And it's really stupid, and it's a flaw that needs to change in my life because I just make things harder on myself. Scripture points this out lots too. Proverbs chapter 11 verse 2 says, when pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with humility comes wisdom. With humility comes wisdom. When pride is in the way, disgrace is going to be your end result. But with humility, you get wisdom. I don't know what you need this week. I don't know what you are looking for. I don't know what help you might need. But please don't be afraid to ask. Reach out to somebody. As much as you're willing to help others, others are willing to help you probably. Don't be afraid to ask.